Welcome to Sailing Euphoria.
So now that we got the prop shaft and propeller out and the engine, we got to fill this massive space in the keel. It doesn't go through the rudder, like it's not half keel, half rudder, so that makes it a lot easier because it's just one big piece. But it does make it a lot harder because, like in a different aspect, because when they built the boat, they designed it so it would come thin and then around the shaft and then thin again, which I'll show you in a sec. And so it's got like a thin bit, probably about an inch wide of the keel, about 1.5 inches here. It goes 2 inches here. It's about 2 inches up here, and it's about 2 inches down here. So it's kind of all over the shop, which makes it a bit more difficult. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grind out from here up around, probably about 200 out the whole way down here, and on both sides. And then I'm going to I need to grind this down a little bit. I cut the like the kind of fiberglass puck that was going around the shaft out here. I cut that down a little bit, but I'm going to grind it flush with the keel, and then I'm going to fill this hole here with thickened epoxy so that way we don't sink. And yeah, I'm going to make probably a 2-inch wide plywood block. I'm going to shape it to this area, and then I'm going to thicken epoxy it in place. And then once it's thickened epoxied in place, I can then grind this shape out that they've got going here, so that way it kind of looks natural instead of filling in this whole area. Makes it a little bit easier. So yeah, grind the paint away to the fiberglass, template a block, spend the next couple of days epoxying wood and not doing anything here other than filling this little hole. Yeah. Alright. I need to cut a little bit more away here with the renovator, and then I'll hit it with the flapper disc. That's it there. A lot of fiberglass. It's very thick. That's almost an inch. Goes a little bit thin there, a bit off-centered. But that's basically flush with the keel now. And yeah, I'll just grind that little extra lip down when I get rid of all this paint and gel coat that's underneath it. All that anyhow. And yeah, get rid of the template.
We are now raising the anti-foul line. At the front we're raising it 70 mil, and then at the back it's a little bit higher, but it kind of follows the waterline really well. Normally we sit about here-ish, but when we're full, we're on it. So we're definitely in need of raising it. We're just going to mark it along and then put a stripe so we know where to sand to and paint it up.
Like if you come over here. Look at that shit. Looks like straight up house.
It is day 3 or 2.5.
Day 2. All out. Day 1.
We spent the morning getting here. Brody farted on me maybe 5 times.
Killed a bird.
Doink.
Well, we didn't kill a bird. He flew into us.
The bird flew into our car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, more grinding.
Yeah.
Today.
Lots. I just smoothed this out. There's like a little pinhole, so I just took the hole away because that's how those things form. So I took that away. That's just epi.2 to smooth it out. Same as that one. That was my glass job. I took that one out because it's far like shit. That's another one of their glass jobs. Not too bad, so I kept it there. That's someone else's repair there that was flaking up, and then right next to it here is one of my repairs that's perfectly fine. Like it just looks normal.
So what is osmosis? Fiberglass boats have a protective gel coat. Water molecules slowly penetrate that gel coat and react with uncured resins and form acids. This causes blisters, the classic sign of fiberglass osmosis. Here's an example.
No, it's because it's got glass over it. Someone repaired that, but they didn't get the osmosis out. So now I gotta get rid of their glass patch. And fix it myself. A small pimple will form, which is an indication of osmosis, and all it takes is removing the moisture and wetted fiberglass, letting it dry out and replacing it with new fiberglass. It begins very small, and if you catch it then, it'll never be a problem. In some cases, people will remove all the gel coat on the boat to expose the fiberglass, allowing it to dry for a few months before resealing and applying new gel coat. This usually prevents osmosis and will give your boat another chance. While I spent time grinding away all the osmosis patches, Chantal got busy with the sander.
just gone over the entire hull, all of the like mossy bits and barnacles and all of those bits that we don't really want on there with 60 grit sandpaper. And now I'm just going to go give it a lick over the entire hull so that we can prime it. Because there's so many spots on the hull, we've decided we're going to prime the entire thing, and because we're raising the waterline anyways, so that's going to be a big job, a bit more money, but it's definitely going to protect it for longer, so it's worth it.
So we're filling in the prop aperture now that everything's all grinded and sanded down, won't be getting dusty anymore. So I've cut out 2 bits of 18mm marine ply, and I was going to do 4 because it's actually quite thick in some areas, but I'm just going to fill that with fiberglass instead. So I templated it with just a piece of cardboard, and then I cut them out to be the same size. Somehow what's going on here? There we go. So they go together, and they're going to get thickened epoxy to glue them to one piece, and it's going to slot in there nicely. I've only gotten one to fit at the moment. In there, something like that, and so then, yeah, once they're shaped and glued together and epoxied, they're going to get thickened epoxy all in these gaps to glue it in place. And then I'm going to grind these curves out, which it's curved around the where the prop originally was to give it more like wetted surface. So I'm going to grind that out into the wood and then gradually slope it up to then meet this big wide bit up here. And then it's going to get faired with thickened epoxy to smooth it out, and then I'm going to chuck probably 3, 4, maybe 5 layers of fiberglass over it, and then a few layers of epoxy, a few coats, and then we'll paint it and prime it.
Just finished sanding back all of the gel coat on the boat, and then we're going to go a little bit over the anti-foul line because it's quite thick, so we'll have to go over it a bit with the grinder and possibly put some fairing compound in there just to get it a bit smoother.
Thanks for watching.
Tune in next week for more boat work.
Happy sailing.
You say, thanks for watching.